Have you ever wondered, what forged the great identity of the dinosaurs? Step through the gates of time and enter the Jurassic period. And yet, this legendary era did not begin with life. It was born from the most devastating cataclysm in history. The end Triassic mass extinction wiped out everything in its path. The skies were choked with thick black ash. Life itself seemed utterly shattered. But from the very ashes, Mother Nature rose to be reborn. Light pierced the darkness, forging a magnificent new era, the Age of Giants. For millions of years, the entire Earth was but a single, desolate, and lifeless supercontinent, known as Pangea. But the Jurassic had arrived. An unseen force from deep within the planet's core began to tear this supercontinent apart. Colossal rifts ripped open, and the Tethys Ocean seized the moment, surging violently into the Deadlands. Billions of gallons of water flooded the fractured valleys, forging the most magnificent mega waterfalls in history. This newborn ocean completely transformed the global climate. Swirling storm clouds gathered, bringing raging tempests, unleashing the first rains upon the parched earth. And from the mud, the resilient seeds of life began to sprout. Greenhouse gases skyrocketed, turning the Earth into a colossal incubator, sweltering and saturated with moisture. The desolation was eradicated forever. The Jurassic draped itself in a vibrant emerald mantle of endless fern seas. And towering primeval conifers, piercing the mist, reaching towards the heavens. Food was now more abundant than ever before. Mother Nature had laid out a magnificent feast. A perfect stage set to welcome the rise of the new rulers. The most colossal biological machines to ever walk this planet. From the primeval forests of the early Jurassic, the first generation of giants finally emerged from the shadows. Volcanodon, the great pioneer. To support their ever-increasing body mass, they abandoned walking on two legs, lowering their center of gravity to forge an unshakable four-legged empire. This revolutionary adaptation shattered all biological limits, paving the way for creatures of unimaginable size to dominate the late Jurassic. Piercing the very mist of the canopy stands the sovereign of the skies, Brachiosaurus, a colossal living crane towering as high as a 6-story building. With front legs longer than their hind limbs, this unique anatomical design allowed them to monopolize food sources high above, completely out of reach to any other species. And the secret behind preventing their massive 10-meter necks from collapsing was a skeletal structure filled with hollow air sacs, making them incredibly light, much like modern birds. While Brachiosaurus conquered the heights, the title of the longest belonged to Diplodocus, a biological suspension bridge stretching up to 30 meters in length. They didn't bother chewing. Their peg-like teeth acted as a gigantic rake, stripping away entire swaths of low-lying vegetation in a single, sweeping bite. And do not let their gentle appearance deceive you. Their whip-like tails could swing with terrifying velocity, literally breaking the sound barrier to drive predators away. Thicker, bulkier, and heavier than them all, this is Apatosaurus. true biological tanks of muscle and bone, weighing as much as 10 fully grown elephants. Faced with this colossal herd, every predator was forced to hesitate in awe. The circular defensive formation of the adults formed an impenetrable fortress to protect their young. These walking mountains did not merely consume, they created. The countless, massive footprints they left behind transformed into miniature oases, sustaining thousands of smaller, fragile lives. But the laws of the Jurassic were merciless, sparing no one. Even the most magnificent of giants, if isolated from the herd, became nothing more than prey. As dusk falls, these colossal shadows are forced to surrender the fading light to the true nightmares of the dark. And the most ruthless biological meat grinders of the Jurassic are finally unleashed. As the prey grew ever more colossal, the predators were forced to evolve to keep pace. Welcome to the blood-soaked domain of Allosaurus, the lion of the Jurassic. While they lacked the massive bulk of the later tyrant T-Rex, Allosaurus was the absolute apex of agility, speed, and sheer, unadulterated killer instinct. Their jaw joints could open to an astonishing 90 degrees. Rather than a crushing bite, they wielded their own heads like a blood-drenched battle axe. Ready to slam down from above to tear their target's throat wide open. And yet, the great herbivores would not simply wait to be slaughtered. The most brutal evolutionary arms race in history had begun. The Earth officially welcomed its very first biological armored tank, Stegosaurus. And the ultimate weapon of this beast lay at the very tip of its tail, a deadly mace wielding 4-meter-long, razor-sharp spikes capable of piercing the thickest of bones. An unstoppable spear, facing off against an impenetrable fortress. The entire primeval forest seems to hold its breath, waiting for the fateful strike. In a single fraction of a second, the game of life and death is decided. The Allosaurus lunges in a frenzy, igniting a ruthless, uncompromising bloodbath. Instantly, the Stegosaurus pivots, unleashing a lethal tailspin that literally tears through the air. A devastating counterattack delivering tons of bone-crushing force. A roar of sheer agony tears through the twilight. Amidst the crimson blood and mud, the law of survival has never been a game that allows for mercy. It was this ruthless and bloody arms race that honed the most perfect creatures, forging an ecosystem of unbelievable balance and grandeur. And yet, these colossal meat grinders only reign supreme on the land. What of the boundless skies and the abyssal oceans? Who were the true masters of those realms? While the colossal machines were still bound to the earth, the Jurassic skies were entirely dominated by winged phantoms. Pterosaurs, the first true sovereigns of the air. Possessing a fragile, yet incredibly resilient membrane stretching all the way to their ankles, they shattered the boundaries of gravity, proudly spreading their wings to embrace the sun. And yet, the planet's greatest terror did not reside in the heavens. Take a deep breath, hold it, and plunge straight into the Tethys mega-ocean. Beneath these deep blue waters lies the domain of sea monsters that struck fear into every living creature. Plesiosaurs, dancers with serpentine necks, gliding gracefully in a silent, deadly ballet of the hunt. But those magnificent dancers were merely an appetizer for a wrath emerging from the pitch-black depths. The true lord of the abyss, Liopleurodon. stretching over 15 meters long, armed with massive crocodilian jaws and a bite force capable of crushing any armored shell. Beneath the Jurassic Ocean, this name was the very definition of death. From the trembling earth and the wing-shadowed skies to the blood-soaked depths of the sea, the earth had never witnessed an era so magnificent, so monumental, and so utterly brutal. The Great Jurassic has fulfilled its historical destiny. Darkness falls, paving the way for the Cretaceous, where the true kings will finally ascend the throne. After tens of millions of years of dominion, twilight finally descends upon the dynasty of the long-necked giants. The Jurassic draws to a close, making way for the blooming of the very first flowers and a new, far more ruthless era, the Cretaceous, where the true tyrant finally ascends the throne. Who will survive the Cretaceous? Subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss the next episode. Goodbye, and see you next time.